Hey, Coach, looking back at the film, did anything surprise you or enlighten you or about the way your team played?
Well, a couple things. Definitely surprised me that we didn't box out because that's all we've been talking about. It's just something that we're not willing to do consistently. The guards are not willing to get back in there and get those tough rebounds. And the bigs aren't fighting tough enough because it's usually two of them versus four of us, and they're usually getting the rebound. And that's not fun as a coach, all the tough things. And 50-50 balls about being first to the floor. We got to just start doing more of that.
You did a little bit of that at NC State up in Brooklyn. And is it just youth that is kind of fluctuating, goes back and forth?
I think it is. I think that the youth is a factor, but also the mindset of the players going out, because we're giving them that dialogue all day, every day about boxing out. If you don't box out, then fight for the rebound. And to watch the film and not see that, it's kind of like going backwards. And we don't want to take steps backwards. We have to keep moving forward every day.
What do you think the reason for that is? Something that you constantly pound into their head and you just never pay over to?
I don't think it's ever been a part of who they were as players to box out in high school, because you can just be more athletic than the guy next to you and just jump and get a rebound. But on this level, if you do not box out, if you don't attack the ball, then it's going to be tough for you to get those rebounds, and it's been tough for us.
So is there something different, another tactic that you might try other than just beating it in their head to get it through to them?
Yeah, we really have kind of ignored all of the drills to get tougher because you have so many injuries already. Right. And the last time we tried to do those toughness drills is when James got hurt. Mm-hmm. And you can't be afraid of that, but we're just trying to talk to them in the beginning. But now it's time to get back to those toughness drills and do some more things that are going to kind of get us in the mindset of what we need to do.
How do you feel about Alo saying that, hey, look, we won, but we really didn't play that well? It's like he's owning the team, and that he realizes and recognizes, and you expect him to step up and put the rest of them in the shape.
Well, I mean, when you're in practice every day, you understand what our mission is. It's easy for people to sit in the stands or watch it on TV or replay or whatever and say how we're doing. But when you know from the inside and all the grind work that we do and all the talking and all the film work, you know exactly what we're looking for. And we took a step backwards on against Bradley the other day in a lot of areas.
Hey, this game coming up this week is almost like a Final Four game for UAB. They pretty much don't like Memphis. A lot of these guys don't know about the rivalry and hate. How are you preparing this for this setup?
It's the next game, and it's a tough game. Really our first road test, true road test in someone else's arena with their home fans being there. And it is a game where they don't like us and we don't like them. It's just always been that way. It's just been a knockdown, drag-out battle with UAB over the years when I played back in the day with Coach Finch and those guys. And with Coach Bartow attached to both teams, then it has a different meaning.
Is this a series you would like to continue moving forward as a home-and-home series?
I think so. I mean, I was a little harsh when I said they don't like us, we don't like them. I think that the rivalry is always going to be tough, and we always need to keep that going with UAB. We need to get Louisville back. We need to get the teams back in the heyday that everybody used to be at the games, stumping the bleachers and those type of games. We need to get those back.
Since you're on scheduling, any update for future scheduling other than the Bahamas, potentially?
Not right now. I'm sure we're working on some things, but it will be soon.
Any piggybacking off the scheduling thing, you got some more NBA friends coaching now. Any talk with Juwan Howard about Michigan or Stackhouse at Vanderbilt?
I spoke with Juwan this past summer and talked about us, Vandy, Michigan, and Georgetown having a game maybe in the Garden. I thought that would be pretty cool. And not to exclude Bobby Hurley or Damon Stoudemire or anything like that, but the new guys on the block versus the vet and Pat Ewing, I thought that would be pretty cool.
What did they say?
They said they were okay with it. We just have to put it together.
Still nothing with Kentucky and home and home.
I saw that they have something with Michigan now. That's pretty cool.
Hey,
no progress with that, man.
No, not yet.
How do you like the lineup? You gonna stay with the lineup? You gonna tinker with it?
I'm not sure. I want to stay with the same lineup and kind of keep the rotation the same. We're having problems right now. We get a little stagnant offensively, and we got to find the right chemistry with the guys that are on the floor at all times, because we don't want to, be ball stoppers and not move the ball. We want to move the ball and get shots up.
How was Boogie after his fall?
Man, Boogie actually was okay yesterday and this morning. That was really shocking to me because that was a hard fall. I mean, he hit all back and on the floor, and You know, I guess that's where youth comes in. I would have been out for 2 years.
Back in the gym shooting right after that.
I'm sorry.
Was he back in the gym putting up shots?
No, he didn't come in the next day to put up shots. He just got treatment. But this morning he was walking a lot better.
I know you won't be able to watch the football championship game, but having been here and been around the city when the football program wasn't as good as it is right now, what does it mean to you to see what they're going to host a championship game and what they're doing?
Yeah, it means the world to me because when I was in school, the basketball team and the football team were all great friends, and we supported each other throughout. Isaac Bruce's, the Larry Porters, the Doc Holliday's, the guys that played back when I was in school. We're still close to this day. So when the football team is doing well, the basketball team is happy. You know, and to be where we are right now and how it's progressed over the years, it's something to be proud of because it took a lot of work. It took a lot of funding to get the facilities up to speed, and now to see them nationally ranked is definitely a reward that they deserve.
How do you prepare for UAB? They're a little scrappy. They played Kentucky tough. They had a couple close games. So how do you prepare for this team?
Man, with the young team, you can only prepare like we've done every game, and then when you get in the game, you're going to have to make adjustments. It just is what it is. Young teams don't understand the magnitude of the road yet. They just go out and play. But we're going to be prepared for everything that they have offensively and what they're going to shoot at us defensively. We just got to go out there and execute the game plan.
Which assistant got the scout for this one?
This is Mike Miller.
Do they scout like, will he scout the UAB game next year, or do you change it up? From
No, we basically just go in rotation. I look at all the games, multiple games of every team, but it's Tony, Mike, and then Cody, and then it starts over.
One thing they do well is offensive rebound.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you've been talking about it. Like, does this feel like maybe a test for your guys to see how quickly they can digest things and grow from it?
Absolutely. I think it could be a gift and a curse. I think the gift of it is we get an opportunity to go improve ourselves that we can't do it. Because guys that offensive rebound, they're going to do it every night. So you're not going to go out there and go, well, they're not offensive rebounders tonight. Everybody crashes the board. And then the curse of that is if we don't go out there and do what we need to do, they're going to stay in the game with offensive rebound. We've been doing a great job of shutting the first and second options out, but then they're getting the rebound. And that does us no good. You got to finish it off with a tough rebound.
Will you start out use the full court press earlier to put pressure on them?
I'm not sure how I'm going to start. It just depends. We obviously want to put some pressure on them at some point. We don't want them to get comfortable. We want to keep the crowd out of the game.
You say that. Oh,
Do you have an update on this?
No, it's just he's actually starting to do more. I see the doctors and the therapists working with his hands, so that's a great sign. And he's on the floor all the time. And I'm ready for him to start back playing because he's getting on my nerves.
You said after the game that you barely got by this last game, and Alex said you had a terrible game, but you look up, it's a 16-point game. Is it a good sign that you play so well but still win with ease?
I think that's just a true test of who Alex is because he's won his entire life. And he understands games where you go out and do things. We're not playing against the other team, we're playing against ourselves. So when he says that we won the game but we lost today, that's what we always talk about. We didn't grow in areas that we should be growing in. And that we've shown before. I think a lot of times young teams take certain teams for granted. Like they took Bradley for granted, they're going to take UAB for granted, and they're going to find out right away that it's going to be tough and a tough game. You got to do all of those small things all game to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish, especially on the road.
What type of things are wrestling doing?
He's always bumping into me. He's always touching me on my shoulder and running. I'm seriously, y'all. Somebody needs to get him.
You mentioned toughness. You don't lack tough players on the team by any means.
Right.
So is it easier to, I guess, raise your toughness when you have guys like Alo who are not going to be pushed around in any setting?
Well, I think that's where it needs to come from. It needs to come from the tough guys on the team because everybody doesn't go attack the game the same way mentally or physically. But the guys that do, they need to pull everybody else up to that level. You can challenge your teammates and just, hey man, we're going to play tough today. We're going to punch first the entire time on the floor, and that's what you have to do.
The best teams always seem to be the ones where the players own the team, basically. Like when you play, you guys took it over, and you think that's something that Alo is showing that kind of desire, and then how much can he do as a sophomore to bring the rest of the guys along?
Yeah, I think that's something that we've been begging him to do for a couple years. It's just not comfortable for him because he just plays hard, and he goes out there and says, I'm going to do my job. But unfortunately, that's not how leaders operate. You got to pull everybody else up, and I think that he's wanting to do it now because he's seeing seen it for what it's worth. He's been on teams where you've taken things for granted and lost games that you shouldn't lose, and it hurts. And I talked to him about it. You don't have a problem until there becomes a problem. And now we're having these loopholes in certain situations that if you continue to do that, you're going to lose. And I think young guys feel like that's not going to happen, but Alex understands that it can. So he's been more of a vocal leader, and he needs to do more of that.
Hey, Damian is the only one that seems consistently getting in foul trouble throughout the games and fouling out. Do you mind his aggressiveness because of the depth there, but you want him to play with controlled aggression?
Yeah, we want him to play more. I mean, you'd hate to take the aggression away from Damian, but he needs to play smart, for sure. He's long, he's fast, and he can play way differently and bother people versus trying to steal the ball, because there are not guards on this level that you're just going to walk up to and just beat them up or just take their ball just off the dribble. You just need to play a mind game with them the entire game and make it hard for them to catch, make it hard for them to shoot over you, and don't let them go around you. And I think he's very capable of doing that, but we don't want him in foul trouble. It definitely messes up the rotation.
Would you show him like tapes of like a Gary Payton or somebody like that?
Well, Rajon Rondo is one of his favorite players who is very smart, very high IQ guard. So when he plays defense, he tries to play on that level like a Gary Payton and a Rajon Rondo. So he's young, he's anxious, he wants to impress, he wants to pressure the ball, and right now he's just having problems with doing that, and he'll figure it out.
Got time for one more? Good.
Anybody listed you as a favorite player? I know James said, I think Kevin Garnett was his, and
These kids don't know about basketball. No, I'm joking. No one yet. Not even my son. That's the tell.
Anybody challenge you to one-on-one this year?
Lesser. I beat him. That's why he's messing with me right now. And don't interview him.